for a comedian. It's like that's the stamp.
Hell yeah.
You got the stamp.
Hell yeah. And they wouldn't they wouldn't pass me for the longest, dude.
How long?
Like, oh man, so I started going there at 19, and
When you were 19 years old?
yeah, I've been doing comedy for like 17 years.
What year was it when you got passed?
Probably like 2000 and like 2014 maybe. Yeah.
So that was like right when I was coming back.
Yeah. And they would never pass. I remember doing a showcase in front of Mitzi. Did a showcase in front of Mitzi. This is when Mitzi came in. She was all like, you know, much respect, like the crap in it, like really like. Yeah. And they sat her in the back, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, it's Mitzi! Oh my God, it's Mitzi! Oh my God, it's Mitzi!" We all went up and we all did our sets. Like it was me. It was Gerard, it was Angelo Bowers, it was Josh Adam, it was like all of us, and then so we all go up and do our sets and shit. And mind you, like this is an open mic, so I go up, and the first joke I said, I was like, yeah, man. I was like, Michael Jackson could fuck anybody he want to. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you know, before everybody was doing that type of joke, right. I was really like, Michael Jackson do whatever the fuck he want to do. And then Mitzi gets up and walks out. Right? Oh, no. She just walks out, and then I thought that my friend Angelo walked her because he went up after me. And then the next day, remember Tommy? Yeah. The next day, Tommy was up there like, "What in the fuck did you think you were doing?" And I was like, "Me?" I was doing my stand-up. I was like, "I rock that shit." And I was like, "It was only 4 people in." He was like, "You went dirty, bro. It was only 6 o'clock. Mitzi called you a pig." And I'm like,
you went dirty. It was only 6 o'clock. Like, this is an hour. I was like, you can tell non-dirty jokes.
It's fucked up because I was like, I talk like this all the time. I was like 3 o'clock in the morning, like 9 o'clock, no matter.
That's hilarious.
So I walked Mitzi, and that's one of the reasons it took me forever to get past, because they didn't trust my ass.
If she didn't like you, she got mad for a long time. She held a grudge. You had to like earn your spot back. You had to hang out there forever.
Then my friends started getting passed. Willie, Hunter, and Gerard got passed, and I was still in development, like in the belly room. They still passed me to the belly room, and then so I would work in there and stuff like that, and then I would go up. Like I would start coming back, and I went up and everything like that, and I would kill every fucking time, like during the open mic and during like the friends and family part. And I got frustrated because all my friends, I ain't gonna lie, I got frustrated because all my friends were getting passed, and I was up there like, man, I'm funny as fuck too, you know, like what the fuck. So every time after I would kill at the store, I would reach out, I would look at Tommy in the booth, and I'd be like, yo, Tommy, I was like, you see what I just did in here? I was like, you passing me this week? And then he'd would just laugh in the back, and I'd be like, okay. And I was like, I'll be back next week, and we'll do it again.
Oh, man, when he had power over the store, that was a terrible position. Yeah. Terrible to have an insane person in charge of running the greatest comedy club the world's ever known.
Yeah, man. But I actually appreciate how hard he made it for me, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Adversity makes you stronger if you do stick it out. But when you're a young comic and your friends are doing well and you're not, like I remember when I was an open micer, I was dirty. And the other guys that were clean started to get work as hosts in town. And I could only get like road gigs. Yeah. And I remember being so jealous. Like, why can't I get it? Like I'd go to see them. Like I'd be hanging out with them. I'd go to see them in a club, and they would host in front of like 300 super polite people at a really nice club. Everyone was seated and laughing at everything, and I would go to these dirty bars in New Hampshire. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I'm taking a bad path.
like my friends would get like shows and stuff, but like, and like he was like Gerard, it was like Angelo Bowers and like all these guys, because they came on the scene. Those guys came on the scene already knowing who they were. Like I was more of like I was still figuring it out, kind of, sort of, and all this stuff. I'm a lot to figure out for myself too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, so I was like, damn, man, nobody would book me. I'm like, man, fuck. So what I would do is I would go on Craigslist, and I would book bringer shows, but I would never bring anybody, and that's how I would get my shows. They'd be like, "Oh, are you gonna bring 15 people?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna bring 15 people," and I show up and I bring nobody, but they would still let me go up, and I was like, "All right, well, this is what's gonna happen. You're not gonna bring anybody, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna go up there."
Explain a bringer show to people, because a lot of people don't know what a bringer show is.
So a bringer show is like when you're like a younger comic and you want to do shows and stuff. There are promoters who are like, "Hey, you can do a show here in the belly room, but you have to bring 20 people." Right?
Is it that many? Is
yeah,
it 20?
Sometimes it'd be 20, sometimes it'd be 15.
But the belly room only seats like 80.
Yeah, and some people.
What's the matter, Jamie?
When I was doing music coming up, just like this, the place we used to play would make us sell 100 tickets to play.
What?
Yeah. and here's what they used to do. They used to say shit like listen, it's like this is comedy. Every show's a bringer show. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you're gonna have to bring people for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was at the like, nigga, my grandma is not gonna come out to every single fucking show. Like, I don't know 20 people.
That's a crazy number. That's a crazy number. They didn't have that in Boston when I started out.
Yeah.
They just had open mic nights, and people either came or they can't.
Yeah. See, over there, I haven't done. No, I've done Boston like one time, but I haven't done like their scene. And
what'd you do out there?
I did a show.
Did you do Laugh Boston, that club?
I think it was an independent show that like Black Thought was running or something. No, that's Philly. No, okay, I've never done Boston.
Oh, okay.
I was in Philly, Boston. All right, yeah. But I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say.
Bringer shows, 20 people.
Oh yeah,
micers.
Yeah. But out here it'd be our mics are just a gang of comics and shit like that. But out there, it's like real people would go to you guys as like open mics and shit like that. Like we would rarely get real people in our little open mics and shit.
So you're basically practicing for the friends of other comedians.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, and so that was our come up.
It stifles growth, I think, a little bit, those bringer shows, because you don't get a real audience.
Yeah, you get your grandma, and you bring friends who think that you're funny on the street, but like they want to see you on the stage, and they're like, "Yo, be funny now." You know what I'm saying? Now it's a different.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't keep bringing them.
Right, and also you're doing stand up for your friends. So like they're right there. I'm seeing my friends. This is weird.
Yeah, it's like I could do this shit in the fucking living room, like we always do, but it's so fucked up.
What are you doing out here?
I'm doing shows all week. I've been doing shows all week. I told myself earlier I was here from the 28th through the 1st in December, and from the 28th, December 21st to the 1st. And just to get a little taste of Austin.
What, you thinking about coming out here?
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Come on.
What?
Come on.
Austin.
I'm bringing everybody out here. Let's do it.
Joe, you know good and hell well we all following you. You know it.
Well, listen, once I open the club, I'm going to put the bat signal up.
Yo. And then so I said, all right, my birthday was January 25th, you know, and then so I said, well, you know, I always think at the beginning of the year, like, what are you going to do for your birthday? You know, and I'm like, all right, you can either go hang out with your family, you can go fuck some hoes at Jeff Ross' house, or you could take care of your little career and go to Austin and do shows for a week. And I was at the like, all right, well, I've done all except for one, so I'm gonna go to Austin and do shows for a week. And I just booked it, and I came out here.
Nice.
And, yeah, man.
We've been doing shows at there's a place in town called Vulcan Gas Company. That's a great little spot.
I did that yesterday.
Oh, it's nice, right?
Yeah,
it's a great spot. A little weird, people above you.
Yeah.
A little weird, but
the stage is kind of skinny too.
Yeah, but at least it's stand up in a club. Yeah. And then we'd on Mondays, Kill Tony at Anton's. I did it just this past Monday. It was amazing.
Yeah.
There's some funny fucking people in this town, man.
Hell yeah.
Really good local comics. Really good. We laughed hard, and Tony was on fire. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Tony was killing it.
Yeah.
It was good.
I love Tony. I like his I think he's such a funny person, but I like his confidence.
Oh yeah,
like,
ridiculous.
It's
ridiculous. Doesn't even make any sense.
So he had that confidence. Like when we do the open mic at the Improv, like when we were like little dudes, and be like,
look at him. Look at it with that's the Undertaker's championship belt that he gave me, and of course I had to give it to Tony. Like, there's no way I couldn't. Like, Tony needed that.
Yeah.
And him with the Undertaker's belt on, I said, you got to take a shirt off photo with the Undertaker's belt on.
Yo.
Look at him.
Yeah, fucking Tony Hinchcliffe. And
best roaster in the fucking game.
Yeah.
That dude.
Yeah.
He's so quick.
Yeah. It's fucking the truth, dude. But yeah, he had that confidence in the open mic, and then so people, like when we were coming up, people would be like, damn, like how is he even feeling like that? Like how does he even feel like that? Like, we don't even know our next joke, and he's just up there like
super confident. Well, he bought that Corvette.
Yeah.
He started calling it Corvette Confidence. I've got Corvette Confidence.
Hey, I'm here for it all, man. There's like a undercurrent of like this hardcore savagery about him that I'm just like I'm here for.
Yeah.
Then I'm here for, like, okay, I see you, Tony.
No, he's a lot of people underestimate him because of his voice and his his demeanor.
Don't be doing that.
He's a bad motherfucker, Tony Hinchcliffe. He is a bad motherfucker, and he's savage with the jokes.
Yeah, I respect the shit out of him.
He'll say shit on, and he writes all the time too.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll say shit on stage where I'm just like, oh no, he didn't just say that.
Yep. And he knows he can get away with it because
it's part of it's the way he looks. It's part of. I mean, he's a funny fucker. And he was one of the first to jump in. I told him I'm here. I'm like, we got plans. He's like, I'm in.
Yeah.
He came out here before there was anything open. After Cap City had closed, he was out here.
Yeah. Oh man, So thinking about moving out here, but I was telling him outside, somebody got shot outside of my Airbnb a day ago.
Out here?
Yeah, in front of my Airbnb, in the middle of me about to call an Uber.
I wonder what like the numbers are in the country in terms of like when the pandemic started to now, like how much violence has gone up. It's probably going up a lot.
Do you think it's because you can get away with it more because everybody wearing masks?
I think there's that. I think there's also when you have economic instability, when so many people lost their jobs, and so many people, they don't know where they're going to make money. People get desperate, and then people get angry. They get evicted. They get forced out of their homes. They lose their jobs. They lose their car. Their car gets repossessed, and they don't. There's people that are being almost forced into crime in this time that haven't been in their whole life. Like there's people that they're kind of maybe would be slightly inclined to do something shady, but they got a good job and they're gonna like keep keeping on. But then when that job's gone, and then there's no money coming in, people start plotting and scheming, and it's just natural. It's like they get desperate.
It's like that movie. What's that Jim Carrey movie? Fun with Dick and Jane. Where they lost everything and then
saw that one.
Where they lost everything, so they start going on like a crime spree and all that shit.
Like a Bonnie and Clyde type deal.
Yeah. So what happened is that like so when COVID hit or whatever, everybody started getting unemployment, right? So you talk about like scheming and all this shit. So I went over to my aunt's house and my big brother was over there and he was up to like yeah man, he was up to like so what you gonna do? And I was like, man, I may draw and do some art and sell that and stuff. He was like, and my little brother is in prison, so he's like, or we can get that nigga Chase Social Security number and then and then type that in and get his unemployment. And I was like, nigga, I'm on TV. I can't be. I was like, I do think that's brilliant. And if I was another nigga, I would like. But people getting fucked up for that.
Yeah. People getting. Well, the other thing that was happening with the unemployment was like there was a lot of people that if they went back to work, they'd be risking their life. But if they just said, no, I'm too scared to go back to work, they still get that unemployment. And then you're not working for like long periods of time. You start to change the way you look at work.
Yeah.
You start to change the way you look at things.
Yeah.
And then you hear about stimulus checks. Like, where's these fucking stimulus checks?
Yeah.
You start thinking, like, we're just going to start getting checks. That could be a dangerous thing if the government just starts paying everybody.
Why?
Because I just don't think they have the money for it. Where's it going to come from? They're going to have to, somehow or another, they're going to have to take it from somewhere, or they're going to have to start printing money. And then Look, for sure, people need money to get back on track. The problem is if the government starts doing this on a regular basis and then they keep shutting things down and they keep giving, this is gonna be some George Orwell shit, some 1984 shit. We're gonna be fully dependent on the government to keep cities open, to keep towns open, and then they're gonna be compliant to the ridiculous rules. Like you've heard the shit they're doing in LA. We were talking about before the show today. That LA, they're gonna allow outdoor dining, but you can't have a TV on. What the fuck does that mean? Who are you? Who the fuck are you to tell people they can't have a TV on? Like, what? Do they have a, Jamie, is there an explanation for why?
Why does that matter?
Because it doesn't matter. They're fucking criminals. These fucking people think they can just tell you what to do. LA County says no TVs for outdoor diners at local restaurants. What?
Why?
Yeah, why? Does it say why? This provision is effective until further notice. They don't even have to tell you. They don't have to tell you shit. These fucking creeps.
I mean, it's like I said before. It's like, at least you don't got to worry about them broadcasting the coronavirus.
Sporting events like we talked about.
Yeah. This is what it says. It says the broadcast performing to patrons in an effort to keep restaurants from becoming overcrowded for sporting events, such as the upcoming Super Bowl. First of all, there's no evidence that this virus spreads outside. None. Zero. Zilch. You can't find any evidence. There's no studies. If you look at all the, like when they have a pie chart of how the virus spreads, it spreads in supermarkets, it spreads a little bit in, various indoor businesses, and there's a very small percentage you show in restaurants, but it's mostly people working in the kitchen that are catching it. They're in tight quarters working together all the time. There's no evidence that it spreads outside. None. So this idea about them being overcrowded, there's no evidence.
Here's the thing, because I remember before LA shut down, I remember Saddle Ranch was like packed and stuff, but it was outside, but they were like packed, and I was like, that looks unhealthy too.
Yeah.
They're outside, but they're still close together. It's like
we couldn't do shows right down the street.
And you know why? It's because they were about to start doing shows again, but then somebody called the health department on the Comedy Store, and then that shit shut it down.
But why?
Because I think it was like a troll. I think it was like a troll or somebody who didn't like fuck with the Comedy Store like that. But that's what happened.
But what were they saying? Like, what could they say? They couldn't shut down.
They just said that all I remember is that they said that it was like a health problem and stuff like that, and so they shut it down. Right when we were about to, they was gonna start letting us perform in the parking lot.
Yeah, I remember that. Bring
back the best of the Comedy Store in the parking lot, and yeah, somebody got it shut down.
That doesn't make any sense.
That's fucked up. So, did you ever see when we had to perform in the window?
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, that shit was that
didn't make any sense.
That shit was hard.
Yeah, no connection, connection with people.
And I tried to beat the window so many times I could never do it. I saw Donnell beat the window. I was like, he beat the window.
Donnell could beat the window. Donnell could beat bulletproof glass.
Like
he can beat prison glass.
No, he gonna get his.
We were doing these shows at Stubbs Barbecue in town with Chappelle and Mo Amer and Michelle Wolf and Donnell, and this last one we did one run with Tony Hinchcliffe, and then this last run I did with Ron White. And Donnell's been opening up the shows. I mean, my God, he just comes out there like a bat out of hell.
Dude, he's
right
unstoppable.
Out of the gate. Right out of the gate. So intense, so much energy.
Dude, he's unstoppable. What he does, dog. I was like, he beat the fucking window. I ain't seen comedy beat the window. You think you can beat the window, Joe?
I don't know.
You can beat the window.
Try.
You can beat the window.
Maybe.
People just be excited that you hear.
I don't want to try to beat the window. Yeah, but Donnell doesn't give a fuck when he goes up. He doesn't give a fuck who he follows. He doesn't give a fuck. He just goes out, just pow, 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 comes blazing.
Yep.
It was wild.
Yeah.
These outdoor shows are different too. It's weird doing an outdoor show. Like the comedy, the laughter is great. It's fun. People are all excited, but it doesn't echo. I never liked outdoor amphitheater shows.
No?
I've done a few of them, but they're just not as good.
Like them festival shows?
They're not as good. They're not as good. What you really want to do is the best shit is like less than 500 people is really ideal. Like the main room is ideal.
Lit,
packed main room, packed OR. Comedy Works in Denver.
Yeah.
You know, Cap City in Austin when it was open. That kind of shit. Low ceiling. Pow! The laughter rocks the fucking place.
Yeah.
Ah! It's wild. That's what you want.
Outdoor shows, like we were doing this one at an amphitheater, in off of what is that? It's like off of 3rd Street in Beverly. I mean, like 3rd Street, right? Like Beverly. What is it? Pan Pacific Park. And they have an amphitheater out there. We were doing shows out there. People would roll up on their bikes and shit and just sit down in the amphitheater. And it was dope. You know, it reminded me of remember Charlie Barnett?
Yes.
The guy, the New York comic. It reminded me of doing performances like that, like where it's like, you know, so it had that vibes, you know, or at least that was what I tried to bring to it. But so they weren't bad. I for a second was the only person doing indoor shows. Like I think Tony told you I was running this show out of my apartment.
Yeah.
It was called the apartment show Jammers because
Didn't Tony do it?
Yeah, he did do it.
How many people did you have in there?
Yo, man, it was lit. It was like 20 people in that bitch. Like, super spreader, bro. Like,
no testing.
Hell no. I can't afford that goddamn COVID shit. Like them damn tests.
I get it.
All that stuff. So I was giving people hand sanitizer, and I provided a mask. And because what was happening was I started it in last June. Like right when COVID hit, and comics were like going crazy because we didn't have our passion to fuck with or whatever. And I was like, damn. And I said, you know what I'm about to do? I said, fuck it. I said I'm about to go buy a stereo. I'm about to go buy a microphone, and I'm about to start a comedy club in my house. And my sister was up there like, yeah. She was like, I'll work the door and this and this and that. And I was like, all right, for sure.
So how did you get the people in there?
Instagram. I was
really?
like, I put out feelers, so I was like, all right, y'all, I'm thinking about throwing an apartment show in my house. How do I get people here? And then people were like, I'll come. People were DMing me and shit like that, and I hit up my comic friends, and I was like, y'all trying to do some comedy? And we did it. It was like 20 people up in that motherfucker. Like,
nobody got sick?
No, and that's the thing about the show. And that's another thing, is that no one's ever said that they caught anything from from the show. And I got a dirty ass apartment, Joe. You know what I'm saying? And so man, we did that joint. I did it on Monday for my birthday. I brought it out here, but I did it at a hostel.
Oh, really?
It's called Native Hostel. I did it at a hostel, and we packed that motherfucker out, but it ain't the same as a fucking apartment. Like,
right.
In the apartment and shit, people was chilling on the motherfucking beds. People was chilling in the kitchen. That was like the green room. And like, I brought PBR for everybody, and we got it in.
That's awesome. People have been doing shows in apartments for a while, though. Even before COVID, they were doing it for fun. Like I know a lot of people were doing backyard shows. They had, like, I got invited to a few backyard shows, and I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'd like you to perform in my backyard." I was like, "What are you talking about, man? You doing a backyard show?"
Yeah.
But there was a lot of, like, you could see it on Facebook and Instagram, people that had shows in their apartment. Yeah. Like, it was just because, look, it's hard to get stage time in LA. There's a lot of clubs, but there's a lot of comics. Yeah. And you got to get past, and it's a grind. It's a grind.
And it's like once you get past like the open mic levels, like I feel like stages, like stage time, kind of, you know how much stage time, like, you know how many stages you can hit, like if you were like an open micer and stuff. It ain't like that. Like once you get past that level, it's like, man, you can probably in LA, it's like, man, you can probably hit like 3 spots: Improv, Laugh Factory, Comedy Store, and that's about it.
Maybe Ice House if you want to drive.
Yeah.
Comedy Magic Club if you're really ambitious.
Yo, right. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're an open micer, you could do 30 of them.
Dog, I remember doing 9 open mics on a Sunday.
9 on a Sunday.
I just want to see like how many I could fucking hit, like, and I pulled off 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you got to get in the community, right? Then once you're in the community, then people let you know where they're all at.
Yeah.
They're spread out. These weird little bars and comic book stores and weird, strange places that have mics.
Where's the weirdest place you perform?
Well, I did bachelor parties with no microphone. That was rough. That was rough. Just a bunch of drunk dudes, and obviously they don't have any money. Otherwise, they would have bought a stripper, hired a stripper to come.
And there wasn't no stripper there.
No, just me. Those were the roughest ones. I did a Jack and Jill strip club in Rhode Island. That was the weirdest one because a Jack and Jill strip club is like there was a time where they tried to have strip clubs where a man performs and a woman performs, and couples would go.
Like a man and a female stripper?
Like a man would strip and then a female would strip. And the couple would sit there and watch both of them. It was so strange. And the people that went up, they looked like the type of people you'd expect at this kind of place. And, in the audience, there was maybe 6 people in the audience. And, you know how sometimes you bomb? And it's like, it just feels terrible. I was bombing, and it felt like I was performing in front of people that didn't understand a word I was saying. I didn't get any noise.
Yeah.
There was nothing. It didn't even feel bad.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? I mean, I was, young in the game anyway. I was only probably doing comedy a year and a half or so. It was because it was a terrible gig. It was for this dude, oh, man. I'm trying to remember the booking agent's name, but he had a bunch of these weird fucking gigs in Rhode Island. Like they were all real shady, like strange bars you'd go to, and you'd always get paid, but they were always very weird. And this one, there was, like I said, like 6 people in the audience, and the type of people that you would see in an audience that would come to see a guy strip and a girl strip were very strange.
Well, what they look like?
Just like older people that just didn't have any hope and just sitting there and just looked confused as to why they were even there. And again, there's only 6 of them in the whole audience. But there was one dude, there was a pool table in the back, there was one dude playing pool. And I came over to talk to him, and he was just a regular dude from New Jersey. And he's like, man, what the fuck is this place? I go, what are you doing here? And he goes, I'm in town visiting my family. I had to get out of the fucking house.
Yeah.
And I saw this place, and I came over. And he was like, what is this? The guy and the girl, both of them, they were not attractive.
Yeah.
At all. No.
Yeah.
They both look like they've been drinking and doing drugs their whole life. They look sad, tired, and bad tattoos.
And where'd you go up? Did you go up in the middle of
the beginning? I'd go up in the beginning, and then I'll bring them up.
Cold
and then
open.
I'd go up in the middle, in between them, and then I'd bring up the girl, and then I'd go up at the end and wrap up the show. It was a nightmare.
You did crowd work?
I tried. First of all, it was terrible. Yeah. Right? I'd been doing comedy, like I said, like a year and a half, maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
I don't really remember. But I wasn't good. And then on top of that, these people just were barely awake. It was in Woonsocket, Rhode Island, which is like it's a Portuguese section of Rhode Island. Rhode Island has a lot of Portuguese immigrants for whatever reason. They came to that area. So these motherfuckers might not have even spoke that much English.
Yo.
I don't know. I'm telling you, dude, I didn't get any response.
Yeah.
It was like, ba-dum-bum. Silence.
Yeah. Fuck.
I remember that one, but that one didn't even make me feel bad.
Yeah.
I remember leaving that one just laughing, like, what in the fuck? What is that?
Fuck. Yeah, that's crazy. Fuck, I can't even remember like the weirdest. They doing them in back of trucks now.
I know, I saw that.
Yeah.
Bird did one of those.
Yeah, those shows are actually lit. Like I have.
It's a good stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pickup truck, flatbed. I mean, it seems like a good stage.
Yeah, but that's where comedy is in LA right now.
Well, Eleanor's doing a show at the Magic Castle. They have shows in the parking lot.
Yeah. Tammy Joe runs that shit.
How are they allowed to do that?
In the parking lot?
Yeah, if you can't have outdoor shows. Are they just doing it?
I don't know. I haven't even went to the Magic Castle show.
Cause I don't want to blow her up.
Yes, maybe they're not still doing it.
Eleanor had it on her Instagram.
No, yep, they're there. Yep.
Eleanor Kerrigan in the house. But maybe they're just doing it and waiting for people to shut them down.
Oh,
bro, it's bad.
Yeah.
LA's bad.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm gonna do when I get. Maybe I'll go audition or something. I don't know. I don't know what to do when I get back
I think
there.
you gotta be in your car still, like a drive-in.
Oh,
I don't like that shit.
I don't like that shit.
They're
Drive-in
charging per car.
stand-up shows.
When people honk when they want to heckle.
Come on, man, don't play with me. Like I hate that shit.
But I'll tell you what, Bert Kreischer's got that shit dialed in.
Yeah.
He's got it dialed in. Yeah, they set up a big stage, and he'll do hundreds. Like I asked him, how many people were in your crowd? He goes, 700 cars. but just the fact that you're doing it by car.
Yeah.
It seems so bizarre.
Would you do some shit like that?
I would do that. I would do it with Bert. Yeah. 700 cars sounds like a good time. I did a outdoor venue. I went to see a show at an outdoor venue. Burr was in town. Yeah. What was that place again? What the place where Burr was at? It's in Dripping Springs. I don't believe so.
A few amphitheaters in different areas around. So
they have like these outdoor barbecue spots that have an amphitheater. So like people play music and eat food. And Bill was there. There was like 600 people in the crowd. It was literally like 40 degrees outside. We're Nutty Brown, and we're sitting there zipped up to I had a jacket on, zipped up to my face, sitting there shivering, laughing my ass off. But Bill murdered it, man. It was seeing real stand-up, like real and current events shit, talking about all the stuff that's going on in the world right now. It was so good. And he's been on a tear, man. He's been traveling all over the country, just doing outdoor shows and being careful and wearing masks, and you know, he won't even shake your hand, even me.
Really?
Even though I go, dude, I get tested every day. He's like, I'll give you elbow. And then he came in here, we both got tested, then he gave me a hug.
Right, that's funny. I try to get him to come to my apartment show. I tried.
He wants, he's got to be safe.
He was like, absolutely not.
He needs to make the money off of stand-up because he doesn't. I mean, he makes money off his podcast, but I'm sure he's got a large nut. And he was complaining on stage about his wife spending money, so I'm sure that's real too.
Yeah. Fuck.
There's like so many people that didn't have a podcast that all of a sudden their income went away, and they thought, okay, it'll go away for a month. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then here we are 11 months later.
Yeah.
Like, what in the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like, when can we go back to work? Like, what is happening? Most people, I knew people that were like criticizing other people for going on the road, and now they're on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they realize, this is, we got to take this shit into our own hands.
Yeah. My mom was like, oh my God, you going to Austin? You going to Austin? Like, why are you traveling? I was like, bitch, I gotta work. You gonna give me rent money? Like, bitch, I gotta fucking work. And then she was like, I guess. Yeah.
Well, Joey Diaz got mad at me at first. Why are you going to fucking Houston, Joe Rogan? What are you doing, Joe Rogan? Like, the first time I did the improv. I was like, listen, man, I miss it. I want to do it. He's like, stay home, mind your business. But he's doing stand-up now.
Yeah, exactly.
After a while, people just they can't take it anymore.
You need it.
Yeah, they can't take it anymore. He's being careful. He lives in Jersey now, for now.
This one I have to just get going on immediately. Alright, so some of the strats here, I'm actually not even going to worry about making cycles. I don't know why I'm worried about it. I'm not. So one thing I'd recommend here when you're first learning, go off of this corner and then hold back towards this platform. So I'm going to show you that again. You want to jump. You can walk off here and then walk and go back towards this platform. Side flip up this. The best way to get up this, I feel, is side flip. Hit, and then boom. I jump here and then jump dive. And then long jump. You can side flip there if it's low. So when this platform is low, you can just come up here a little ways. Side flip, dive. And then you'll be able to beat it up pretty easily. Either doing that or just waiting and kind of just jumping up it. If it's high, if it's already up, see ya, Casey. If it's up, you can just do slope kicks. like jump and then slope kick, and then. But the problem is you might not make it. You might not make it up while it's up. So you might end up having to wait for it to come back down anyway, which is fine. You're learning, so it doesn't matter. Now for this star, I have to say, I don't think this is very hard, but I wouldn't recommend it when you're very first learning. So I'm going to do this 2 ways. I'm going to do it this way, the fun way, where you just long jump across. On N64 it's a little easier because you have a little bit of lag, and so you can kind of like time it, and then you just go into that. And that's where you fight Bowser 2 and you get Key 2. I wouldn't recommend that if you're first learning, although you don't move the joystick and you just keep long jumping. So it's not super hard, but it can troll you. The way I would recommend doing it when you're learning is this way. So I'm gonna get these. This box has a bunch of coins in it, by the way, so in case you're curious. The way I would recommend it is when you're first learning is do long jumps. If you start your long jump where I started it, you should be able to hit the middle of that platform no matter what. So no matter where the fire is, you'll always be able to proceed. And then I have long jump here, and then you can just wall kick, and then get into Bowser. I don't recommend doing anything fancy here. The only thing I would say is
I'm gonna have him come out here too. He has to come out here.
Yeah. I miss seeing him, dude. Yeah.
That's the glue. That's the glue that held the wildness together at the store. You know?
He don't give a fuck about nothing.
He doesn't give a fuck. That's real too.
And I didn't, since I wasn't like familiar with his personality and stuff. So I remember one time, I think you were there. Like I got my keys stuck in my car in the parking lot. And then people couldn't get out of the comic store parking lot, and he couldn't get out. I think he got out, but but whatever. So the next day I saw him at the parking lot. He was like, "Hey, jerk off!" He was up there like, he was up there like, "Stop getting your fucking keys locked in your car." He was like, "All right, you know Uncle Joey loves you," and I was up there like, I've never even talked to this man in my life, but I love how I love that. Like I love him.
Well, you know, he's got that wild East Coast sense of communication. You know.
Yeah.
Like, insulting you is a sign of love.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
have fun. That was one thing that I noticed when I came from New York to LA. It's like New York comics are constantly shitting on each other.
Yeah.
And LA comics, at least in the 90s, when I first moved to LA, they were all trying to get sitcoms, man. Mm-hmm. They weren't insulting anybody. Mm-hmm. That's all they were trying to do. They were trying to just make everybody their friend.
Out here, I mean, like nowadays, like it like picked back up a little bit in LA, but now they do it under roast battle. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like that, but like just outwardly and shit, like people don't like to step on toes because people are still trying to, you know.
They're trying to get ahead.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the showbiz aspect of Hollywood. You know, it's like that they all wanted to be cast in shows, and they want to make sure they don't say anything too crazy. Yeah. And I know a lot of comics that didn't want to do certain jokes or certain topics, even though they thought it was funny, because they were worried that a casting agent would put them in a show, or an executive would see it, and they would think they'd be too... I'm like, God damn it, man. You're a comic. First and foremost, you're a comic.
I figure, this always been my strategy. I figure, come out crazy. You know, like come out crazy, and then let them see that, then scale it back. You know, like when you like
control it.
Yeah, dude. But like, come out crazy so they know what the fuck they may be getting.
Well, listen, man. It's just, these fucking people. They're all like led by whatever they think is the standard that they have to adhere to. It's not like if you were alone with them, they would call people retards, and they would say crazy shit, and they would laugh at bad jokes. And but when they're together under this, the guise of being a part of a network, and you know, it's like they have a career to protect, and everyone's worried, the one thing that's beautiful about live comedy is you add a few drinks, people are smoking weed, the place is dark, the spotlight comes on the comic, you say wild shit, everyone's laughing, and you find yourself laughing. It breaks down all these walls, and you realize, no, this is just fun. This is not what he really means about anything.
Yeah.
He's just being wild, and it's fun to watch. It's fun.
I remember a long time ago, like coming up in a comic, like one of the best things I ever heard.
Oh, am I way in the way? Oh, okay. Jamie's moving me over. I get a hand signal. I'm trying to see his eyes.
All right. One of the best. Yeah. One of the best things that ever, as a comic ever told me, even like earlier in life, was like, yo, man, the audience comes to hear and see some crazy shit.
Yeah, well, especially the store.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you got to establish that. I remember in the improv, that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
Like the improv, like the early days, Joey used to go to the improv. And he's like, Joe Rogan, I don't like that fucking place. There's too many fucking mutts. Too many white people. That's what he's saying. He's like, too many fucking mutts. I say some shit, they fucking get all, they clutch their pearls.
Yeah.
But eventually we started doing shows there.
Yeah.
And so when we started doing shows, like we did these Joe Rogan and Friends shows, then everybody knew. So like we were getting our people to come down there, and then it was wild again. And then Joey loved it.
Dude, I remember getting banned from the improv. I remember getting banned from the improv because we had this thing called it was me and like my the guys I was coming up with, and we all had a showcase. It was called like maybe like Best of the Improv or New Faces of the Improv or something like that. And all my friends were on it and stuff, and everybody is kind of like straight edge, kind of like clean and shit like that. And then I had to go up last. And I was getting frustrated in the back, and I was forgetting my jokes. And so when I forget, and I just say fuck it. So I went up there. I think I talked about like I had a joke about like my grandma making me smell her pussy when I got bad grades. it was so fucking absurd. He was like, what kind of grades you getting? It was like, oh, F. Come here. Smell this. I was like, no.
That's such a ridiculous joke.
It's such an absurd joke, but like at that time, Rita from the improv.
Yeah, sure.
Like she was up there like, so we had to do, and by the way, I ended that set by saying, fuck y'all and good night. And I dropped the mic. I don't know what the fuck came over me, but I was like, oh, bro, I think that's just your spirit taking over. Like, that's just who the fuck, that's just a preview of who you gonna be later on as a fucking comic.
Right.
So Rita.
How many years in were you?
Shit. I was like, I was 22, so 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I was 5 years in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was.
But you were only 22.
Yeah. And so the next day, Rita was she had everybody, like, she never did this shit. Like, it was the next day was the open mic. She had everybody sitting down, and I kind of come in a little late, and she was just sitting on the stage talking, like talking to all the comics. I ain't never seen this shit in my life. So she was giving people their reviews. She was like, Gerard amazing, Angelo amazing. She was like, oh, you could do this, but you did a great job. And then she was like, Jamar, what in the fuck did you think you were doing? And I was like, oh, I was trying to be funny, Rita. And then she was like, smelling your grandmother's pussy.
I wish I was there. I've been like, Rita, that shit is hilarious. Let them grow.
The audience was confused, though, too. I ain't gonna lie. They were like,
listen, you need to bring that joke back. Have you been doing that lately?
Hell no, that was like...
Oh, my God. Please, Jamar, bring that back. You can figure out a way to make that work.
Oh, my God.
Today, you can make that work.
Yeah, now, but
yes.
Back then...
Right, but that's always the case in the beginning. Like, that's like what I would call like a black belt premise. Like, it's a complicated premise. It's not like a white belt premise. A white belt premise is like, oh, it's easy. Set up punchlines, obvious what you're talking about.
Right.
You're saying some wild shit. Like, the audience has to have trust in you for you to joke about your grandmother's smelly pussy and how you have to smell it if you have bad grades.
That shit was retarded, dog. Like,
yeah, but it's making me laugh right now.
And the fuck part about that shit is that, like, if I'm in a joke, I don't care at what level of comedy I was ever at. If I'm in it, I'm gonna do the whole fucking thing, whether I'm bombing or not. Like, the whole act out, like, I'll put the whole story in that shit and everything. I don't give a fuck if it's quiet a day. And I'm like, well, no one in here has grandma's had a stinky pussy before, huh? No one in here has got an F? Okay. Like,
how did you get involved in doing the roast battle shit? Because when you guys would do, when it was you and Jeremiah and Willie, and you guys would act out when someone would kill somebody with a roast, you guys would pile onto the stage and act out various scenarios, and it made the show.
Bro.
It made the show.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, because people online was eating us up. They was up there like, who in these these idiots?
You can't read those.
But it wasn't about that for us. Like, we was just trying to have fun. So in the beginning stages of the roast battle, and shout out to Jeff for letting us do that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, it's a wild move.
Yeah, it is. But I feel like a show like that where you're constantly spouting like these insults and shit like that, and a lot of them are really fucking dark. You need a palate cleanser. It don't matter.
That's
like
a good way to put it.
Yeah,
that's a very good way to put it.
Yeah. So at the beginning, like when it first start, like the origins of it and shit, when it first start, like me, Willie, and Jeremiah, we'd be sitting like just watching these motherfuckers like just talk shit about each other, and I naturally have a big laugh and whatever. It's damn near over exaggerated and shit. And then so Jeremiah and we all like would start watching it or whatever, and then I would laugh and I would do like different shit. I would start dancing and shit on stage and shit like that or whatever. And then Jeremiah and them start coming in and all this stuff, and then so that shit escalated. So one time like 1 week we were like, hey man, let's go to Goodwill. And every time somebody say something funny, I was like, we just go up there and like these different props and shit, right? And then so yeah. And so then it would get like really fucking elaborate. We would do like costumes and shit like that, but it all started from just over laughing and just like trying to just fuck around and kind of troll the fucking battlers, kind of sort of, and the whole thing or whatever. But that's how it started. And yeah, man.
Did you guys get together and plan out like various little things that could possibly be happening if someone kills somebody? And how did you know when to bring out which one?
So okay, so we would get very so we would go prop shopping. Some of that shit didn't make sense, but like we would go prop shopping and shit. But
is there a video compilation of like the best of the wave?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Oh, find that.
Yeah.
So there should be if there is.
Yeah, it has to be.
So we would go prop shopping and shit like that, right? And we would know who was battling or whatever. And so we were like, well, this person's fat, this person's a lesbian, this person's trans or whatever. So they're probably gonna say stuff like this. So let's get this rainbow flag. Let's get some gasoline. So when somebody says something about this gay dude, we're gonna burn the rainbow flag and like you know, like.
Did you guys actually burn a flag?
We burned a Confederate flag in Alabama, and the whole crowd went, and the whole crowd like gave us a standing ovation.
Really?
Yeah, that was like one of the bits.
Indoors burning a flag is dangerous as fuck.
But that's the dope thing about the wave, is that people never ever knew what the fuck we were gonna do, so we would get away with shit like that because of the air of unpredictability.
Right.
Yeah. So
it's a great name for the group of you too, the wave.
Because before we did the roast battle, I would be in the OR, and when somebody would do something funny, I was always an over laugher anyway, whatever. And so one time somebody did something, I was just like ha ha ha, and I was like whoa, whatever, right? And then so we started doing that like in the roast battle too. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, oh man, we should just call ourselves the Wave or whatever, and this and that. We're the Wave, you know. And then so every time like they shout us out, we'd be like, whoa, and like sometimes the whole crowd will fucking do it and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's literally a wave of whatever the fuck's about to happen after this joke. You know what I'm saying? Like.
And you guys did it for it. Like, I came to the store in 2014, and one of the things, I came back to the store, one of the things that brought me back, the big thing that brought me back was Ari, because Ari was filming a special there the next day, and I had to go. I had to be there for that. Ari's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
And the other thing was, I wanted to see Roast Battle, because everybody told me about it. And I remember being up there and sitting in that audience going, wow, this is special. Like, first of all, the joke writing was excellent. These people that I didn't even know, they were crushing each other. And then you guys would run on stage and make chaos. And I was like, this is a wild, creative fucking show. But that was 2014.
Yeah.
So we're talking about 6, 7 years, well, 7 without COVID, 6 years of solid performances.
Yep. And it was so fucking fun. And one of the dopest things about that, it made me really appreciate like what we get to do.
Yeah.
You know, is I remember a time we went to JFL to do it live, and I was sitting there and I was getting kind of nervous about the show because this was a live show. They were gonna do it live for Comedy Central, and I was a little nervous about the show, like in my hotel room, and I was up there like, bro, I was telling myself, I was like, man, you need to chill out. And I said, what you need to do, get those red pants, get that wig, and go up there and dance like James Brown. You get to do that. And I was up there like, oh yeah, huh? Get up. Yeah. And so there was a bit, I don't know whose battle it was, but like, I don't know if you ever got it or whatever, but it's me up there like dancing like James Brown and shit like that or whatever. People, like, we were having a great time. Even online may have not liked it. I mean, like, online may have not liked it, but if you were there.
Listen, man, fuck the online.
Yeah, fuck them for real.
Fuck that. They're just a bunch of malcontents.
UFC 259 is this weekend, and DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC, is putting you in the center of the title fight. Pick either main event fighter to land a punch during this weekend's UFC 259 bout, and DraftKings Sportsbook will give you 100-to-1 odds. Just bet $1 on either fighter to land a punch, and if that happens, you'll cash $100. DraftKings Sportsbook also offers great odds and promotions on basketball, hockey, and so much more. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code ROGAN when you sign up to turn $1 into $100 if either main event fighter lands a punch on Saturday. That's code ROGAN for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline at 800-270-7117. 21 and over. Michigan only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full terms and conditions.
You know, this is what I always say. It's not like the people don't comment interesting shit on YouTube videos or Instagram. They do. There's some people that do. But the people that complain all the time, most of them, 99% of them, I'm making that number up, are fucking losers.
Yeah.
That's why they're complaining about shit all the time.
Well, I figure that's what the comment section is for anyway. Because I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna troll my goddamn self.
Yeah.
I'm like, so yeah. But all that mattered to us is that we were having fun and that we got to do this.
It's one of the best parts of the show.
Yeah, man.
Anybody doesn't get that, it's one of the best parts. I remember there was one where somebody got somebody. I forget what happened, but you guys came out with, what are those things that pop out of cans? They look like worms and shit.
Oh yeah. The little streamers.
Yeah, streamers were popping out. You guys were rolling. I'm like, this is wild. It like, because whoever it was got this person so good, and then you guys all fell out of the stage like, bah! And it was amazing. It was amazing, and you could see in the audience like the laughter was hard, and then it took it to another level. And then people were like, this show is amazing. That show is one of the best creations of the store. Yeah. You know? And Moses is the perfect guy to host it. Yeah. Because he's so nice. Yeah. He's so funny and he's so nice. And then he makes everybody hug it out at the end. Yeah. Hug it out. Like, there's no meanness coming from Moses. Like, if Hinchcliffe was hosting it, it might go too dark.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Moses is like, I don't have a side. I'm just... Yeah. You go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, break it up. Right,
but he's also fun, and he's just a good dude.
Yeah.
So it's like that comes off when he's on stage.
Yeah.
And then when he would host it, it was just, man, I missed that show. I used to drop in on Tuesday nights just to watch. just to see some chaos and just see some creativity and some young comics just getting after it.
Yeah, dude. And I used to get up I used to get up there and I used to fucking battle and all that shit, and then that was fun. But then I had to stop doing that because I don't like the idea of thinking about somebody for 2 whole fucking weeks and stuff like that. Because then
jokes and yeah.
But it did help, like my joke writing and all that
it's
stuff.
It's a great joke writing exercise.
Oh, absolutely. But I think being in the wave like really like developed me though as a performer though too. Like that was doing some work on our shit too, you know.
Oh yeah, you had to commit. You had to die. And the other thing is that was a late night show, and it was always sold out. It was always sold out. Like there was a line. I mean, what time did that thing start?
Okay, it would start at 10:30. They would do it. They would do like a mic or like a little book spots ahead, and then what like 11:45.
That's when it would start. Yep. So really, the show started at almost midnight on a Tuesday night, and it would be mobbed.
Yep.
Mobbed.
Yep.
I mean, it was supposed to have. Listen, I'm not going back to the store because it's not going back. It's not going to be the store again. I'll go back if it comes back, but I'm going to be honest about the numbers.
Yeah.
The fire department probably wanted about 80 people in there. There's probably about 150.
Yeah.
There were
200. You couldn't wear good shoes up there. You get fucked.
I was downstairs below it, and I remember someone was crushing, and you guys were jumping around, and the ceiling was moving. I was like, oh my God. I was like, when was the last time anybody did like a structural assessment?
Just to hang up in those back stairs just so you could hear. If you couldn't get in, you'd be like, at least I can hear it.
Yes. But there was some motion at one time that the ceiling was moving. I was like, imagine if everybody just came piling into the fucking kitchen. If the ceiling collapsed. Fuck.
Oh yeah, man. We used to turn that fucking belly room out, man.
We need to do that shit out here. We need to have roast battle with Austin.
He brought
What's Jeff Ross doing? He ain't doing shit.
Yeah, man.
Come on out, Jeff Ross.
Some guy brought it up. Guy brought it up that he was gonna start it back up out here, and he was like, I would love for you to do the wave, and I was like, I don't do the wave anymore, kid. I'm past that. You know, I tried to big time him.
Well, you probably should be past that.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it was like I would definitely do something with my friends with the wave or whatever. But I don't want to go on stage and
I get it. You did it forever.
Yeah,
but it was just. I think things that are just wild like that are great for the soul of comedy.
Yeah.
That's what I felt when I was there in that audience. And again, this was the night before Ari filmed his special. I decided I had to go there a day earlier. I'll be overwhelmed because I knew I was going to start crying. So I got there. I was like, okay, let me just see what the store is like now. And then Jeff Ross introduced me to the crowd, and it was weird, man. It felt weird. It felt like oh my God, it was crazy. But the feeling of the room was like, this is not the same Comedy Store that I left 7 years ago.
Yeah.
This is a better place.
Yeah.
It's more creative. It's more wild. And to be there in that wasn't packed the same way. That was only like a legit 90 people, but it was still.
Yeah.
It was fun, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, man. We used to tear the roof off that place, man. And we were so
God.
because we'd work all week doing whatever job we had before. Maybe it was a writing job or somebody had, but every fucking Tuesday, every fucking Tuesday, like me, Jeremiah, and Willie, we get giddy. We be like, oh shit, you gonna do that? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, man, I'm gonna get Willie. All right, I'm gonna get Willie. Cause I remember Dennis Rodman jumped in the wave. Dennis Rodman, big drunk ass, jumped in the fucking wave. And we were like, fuck it. I was like, this is what kind of party it is. Hey, Dennis Rodman, Bobby Brown jumped in the wave.
Bobby Brown was there? Bobby Brown was at the store a bunch of times. Yeah, I ran into Bobby Brown at a sushi place.
Yeah.
This is one of those weird things where, when I was a kid, every little step I take. I knew Bobby. Everybody knew Bobby Brown. And so I run into Bobby Brown at a sushi place. He says hi to me. I was like, "What's up, Joe?" I was like, "Oh my God, Bobby Brown knows who I am."
Yeah.
It was so strange, shaking his hand, giving him a hug. I was like, "Wow, Bobby Brown."
Bobby Brown.
It's crazy.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Just fucking
That Comedy Store, that place was such a.
Look.
Oh, look at you guys. Just the best of wave. Dennis Rodman and Jeremiah's translating. Look at Moses. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Dennis. We already know everything about you. There's nothing else. And World Star doesn't have subtitles. What the fuck is happening right now?
I'm taking a selfie with him.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, there's a real value in a little club like that, a tiny spot, and that's one of the things that I want to have out here. I want to have a small club too. I don't think you just have a big club like the main room. I think you need a belly room. I think you need a little laboratory.
Yep.
You know, just to fuck around and
like
it would be really hard to create a show like that, or like a lot of other like Kill Tony started out in the belly room too.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah, like you need a laboratory. You need a place where you're just kind of fucking around. There's lower expectations. It's more of a hang. When you get to a large audience, everybody's like, wow, this place is packed. This is a big thing.
Yeah, like you do that small club to go do the big club.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's like training. Like you need to do running, and then you also need to hit the bag. You need to do different shit. You need to lift weights. You need cross training.
It's so funny. I remember, I still do, but like I would speak about training and stuff like that. Like I would go to the gym for fucking 6 hours, Joe. 6 hours every motherfucking day, bro. Just to mentally prepare myself for doing comedy.
6 hours?
Yeah, bro.
What would you do for 6 hours?
Anything I could think of. Like anything I could fucking. I accidentally learned how to box just by being in the gym for 6 hours. Like for every fucking day.
You learn boxing by yourself?
Yeah. I would see people in the gym and stuff like that.
What gym were you working out at?
Fortune boxing gym.
Oh, okay. Justin Fortune.
Yeah.
He's legit.
Yeah, I love Justin.
Joey Diaz used to go there too.
Yeah. All like you see fucking Sylvester Stallone brother and that motherfucker like.
And I'm here to work out, Joe.
Just to fucking mentally prepare myself for a fucking 15-minute set at the Comedy Store, like, it's fucking retarded.
That's good. So you just did a fight, didn't you? Didn't you take a fight?
Yeah, I did.
We talked about it before. We talked about it. It was almost a year ago.
Yeah, right before COVID hit.
Yeah,
actually.
You were telling me you were thinking about taking a fight. I was like, whoa, okay.
I said because I was gonna go do Golden Gloves.
Yeah.
I was 34, so I was like, and I was gonna do the Golden Gloves because I was 34 and the cutoff to do it is 35. And one of the main reasons I wanted to do it because I heard that like Eddie Murphy had done it. Like I heard that
Eddie Murphy fought in the Golden Gloves
or Silver Gloves or some shit like that.
Really?
Or like they used to box when they were younger, and then Martin Lawrence.
Well, his brother Charlie was a bad motherfucker. Legitimately.
Yeah,
legitimately. Very good martial artist.
I hear stories.
Yeah, he was good. I was with Charlie Murphy. We were on tour, and I was with Maurice Smith, who was UFC heavyweight champion, and Ivan Salivary, who was one of the top fighters in the UFC. And we had done a show together, and then me and Charlie did a show together, and then we all went out to eat, and these guys came out to see me. So afterwards, we're all eating dinner, and I think Brian Redband had the photo of this conversation on his Instagram, and I think he sent it to me, and I might have put it on my Instagram or my Twitter, but Charlie Murphy was holding court. You got UFC, former heavyweight champion of the world, Maurice Smith. You got Ivan Salivary, top flight UFC fighter, and you got me and a couple of my friends, and then Charlie Murphy is standing up, talking about you motherfuckers don't know how to throw the Chicago Ridge hand. Like he had like some strike called the That's it right there. That's it right there. 2007. Look at Charlie. That's Ivan Salivary, the guy with the watch on the far right side. Maurice Smith is the guy with the white t-shirt right next to him. Oh my God, dude. I'm telling you, Charlie Murphy was holding court. We were dying laughing. And he was talking about like a ridge hand is a weird karate strike where you hit someone with like this side of your hand. You like throw it like this. I mean, it's got its place. Like, you know, sometimes dudes in MMA, they KO a guy and then they hammer fist a guy.
Yeah.
Because it's really the best move in certain situations.
Yeah.
And then the ridge hand, Charlie Murphy was saying, y'all motherfuckers don't know about the ridge hand, Chicago ridge hand. He had like this Chicago style ridge hand. I don't know. I don't
feel soft.
It's not the best way to hit somebody.
Yeah,
but you could, for sure, you could fuck somebody up. It's if you're hitting soft tissue in the face, like I wouldn't recommend it for the top of the head. Like knuckles are better for sure.
Yeah, I would never Chicago Ridge hand somebody unless maybe my little.
Is
brother.
that Charlie Box?
No, that's me. That's me. That's right. This motherfucker was so fat.
Oh, the guy you fought?
Look at this.
Oh. Oh, dude, look at you swinging wild.
Look, I was like Deontay Wilder in that bitch.
Are you left-handed?
I am.
Oh, shit. No kidding. Oh, dude, Jamar, look at you go. And you get a drink of water when the guy's down. You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah. And I walked over to
That's over anyway, right? Isn't it over? Yeah, you quit.
The only reason, and I don't take like crazy credit for it. I mean, a win is a win for sure. I mean, that guy was fat as fuck.
So you had this guys are wearing masks. This was COVID. When did this fight happen?
Yeah, it was.
When did this happen?
This is like in October.
In October. So did they test you at all?
No, man. No. They made a sign of release that says, "Hey, we're not responsible for anything that
Any diseases you might catch while you beat the shit out of each other."
Yeah, and I only did that because I didn't get to do the Golden Gloves. Remember, I walked up to you and I was just like, "Joe, I'm thinking about doing the Golden Gloves." You're like, "Have you ever fought?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I spar every now and then."
Yeah.
Like,
well, I knew you were in really good shape. You were throwing a monkey wrench into this thing that I always disputed. There was a thing where people said you couldn't be funny if you were in great shape.
yeah.
Because you would go on stage jacked with this full six-pack.
I still do that
killing
shit.
it, shirt off. And I was like, it's possible. Look how funny Jamar is, and he's up there with no shirt on. He's shredded.
Fucking yeah. If people think I do that shit just to show off my body, and I swear to God, I do it because I think that shit is funny.
It's
like,
kind of ridiculous.
Like,
Yeah.
it's
I mean, just like the mohawk.
Yeah.
You know? That's not even really yours.
Hell no, it's not.
That shit's
man.
glued to his head.
Hey,
You
Steve
need
Harvey.
to know this.
Steve Harvey did it for years. I could do my little mohawk. I mean,
I don't know why he did it. He's got a great head.
yeah, but back then,
Back then, you couldn't be bald.
yeah, that shit was too perfect. We in the hood, we used to debate that shit. Like, that is really it. How's it so perfect then?
It's perfect.
People can have a perfect hairline, bro.
Some people can have a perfect hairline. It's just not a lot of people.
That shit looked like a microphone. He was destined to be a comic.
Listen, they did it right. They did a good job on it.
Yeah.
Steve Harvey wear a wig. That's
His
great.
shit was fucking. His shit was perfect. His lineup, oh god, it was great.
Well, you know, some dudes can pull it off. Yeah, that is a perfect line.
It's perfect.
God, this must get sweaty as fuck in there when you're on stage.
Ugh.
You know,
But
killing it for an hour, sweating with his wig on top of your head.
And I be playing with this shit like it's my real hair and shit too. Like I be like,
How do you glue that thing on your head?
it's double-sided wig tape. I bought this from a costume store because I did it's so fucked up how I started doing it. I was doing like this one-man show, and I had like these 4 different characters, and I was like, okay, that guy. I was like looking at the characters. I was like, okay, that guy's fine. That guy's fine. I go, this guy needs a wig. And I was like, yeah, this guy needs a wig. So I went to the costume store, and I tried on a Jerry curl wig, and I was like, nah, man. I was like, something a little more. And then I put this. I just put this motherfucker on. I was like, bro. I was like, that's it. Let's go. Like, and then after the one-man show, I just started wearing it. I was like, bro, I think you could just rock this. And then so I'm like,
I love how you wear it sometimes and sometimes not.
Yeah.
I got see at the comedy store, and sometimes Jamar would have the mohawk, and sometimes not.
Cause I wear it like a hat.
Yeah,
Like, it's like,
yeah. Like a sweater.
Yeah. Like, bro, I can't, bro. I want a purple one.
Ooh.
I swear.
Why not?
Yeah, I gotta figure out where to get this purple one.
Online for sure.
I got this.
Jamie will find one right now.
I mean,
Purple mohawk
I
wig.
have a bunch of DMs right now. Be like, I'll make you a blue
Yeah,
one.
someone will make you all kinds of colors. They'll probably make you the whole rainbow.
Send them, baby.
Send. You need a gold one.
Ooh, oh my God.
I was just looking at your chains. I was like, imagine a gold one.
Bro, with the shirt off?
Oh my God. Oh my God. You would need a net to catch all that pussy.
Yeah. My grandma stink pussies in here. Get out of here, bitch.
Please bring that back.
5.
Please.
For you, I'll do it.
Please bring it back. Please bring it back. Are you working this weekend?
I'm done out here.
You're not working at all? What are you doing Saturday night?
I got WTF. I got WTF tonight, and after that,
What is WTF?
It's this little bar called Whiskey Tango Fox Terry or some shit like that. But I fly back on the 30th. Wow, what's popping on the 30th?
Tomorrow night is Tony's show. Tony's got a show at Vulcan, and I'm there.
Oh, that's right. Friends of Tony. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. What are you doing then?
Fuck. I'm gonna have to extend my stay. Fuck. I mean, I would. Damn, I feel like I want to fuck with that.
Come on down, Jamar.
All right, I'll stretch it out for one day.
Stretch it out a day.
Yeah,
Come
all right.
on, fellas.
Peer pressure.
Come have some fun. It'd be
Yeah,
great
dude,
to
because I ain't gonna be doing shit in LA,
see
but
you.
fucking waiting on auditions and shit.
Hearing sirens and helicopters.
Fuck, man.
We went down to the Comedy Store to film that. There was like one last night where they filmed that. The Comedy Store documentary, and it was Whitney Cummings and me and Andy Letterman and Bill Burr and Paul Rodriguez and Jay Leno, and we were all up on the roof, and man, it was sad as fuck. The Comedy Store was abandoned, and dudes were racing down Sunset because there was no one there. So there was like, you know how you have like a lot of those dudes with real money, like live like in Beverly Hills, and they have Lamborghinis. And we'd always see them on Sunset. Yeah. Well, they were racing. Racing. Like, like you would hear that, like guys flying down Sunset because no cops were stopping anybody for anything. Yeah. This is just a few months after George Floyd. It was all this defund the police talk in the air. It was past looting and rioting, and everybody was scared, and the cops didn't do a goddamn thing about it. And you felt like the deterioration of the fabric of the city. You felt it in the air. It was really disturbing. It made me sad.
What do you think is gonna happen to the store?
Mad Max.
Mad Max?
Yeah, I think LA is going Mad Max. I think LA, it's gonna be 5 years before LA comes back. That's what I think. Damn. I think they lost 75% of their restaurants. Who knows what percentage of bars and small businesses, but John Terzarian and Craig from Craig's, the restaurant in LA, they were on the podcast and they were telling me the actual numbers. Did I say his name wrong again? Terzian. I said Terzarian. Why do I have to say that? Listen, I just suck at fucking last names.
Man, that's
Armenians
sad,
have great last names, though. It's always an Ian. Terzian, Parisian, Kardashian. It's always an E. I mean, it's really interesting.
Man, that makes me sad, man. That means I'm going to have to move out here.
Well, you're going to have to move out here tomorrow anyway. All right. This is going to be the spot.
Fine.
We're going to put this together. What I want to do is I want to have a spot run by a comic. Yeah. Which we'd never had before. Yeah, everyone's run by business people. Mm-hmm. You know, and the Comedy Store's been the closest place to that. It was run by a crazy lady. Yeah. And then when the crazy lady died, the comedians had already made it so profitable. And it was a real fortunate turn of events that, like, I came back in 2014 and Mitzi died shortly thereafter. And it was like the way everything rolled out, it was the show at the place had become so profitable they didn't want to fuck anything up. So it's not like they could have brought a business person in there and started doing it in a way that they would do like a road club where you had a headliner and a middle and an opening act, and you know, they could have done it that way. And if they figured out if they needed a way to make a lot of money, that would have been the way to do it. But we made them a lot of money at the store, and they made all the money. It was an interesting situation. It's like they realized, like, well, we got a real good spot here, because any other club where you would have sold out shows Monday through Sunday, the comics would be making most of the money. That's how it is if you go to Nashville. That's how it is if you go to Dallas. You know, if you're a murderer, you're coming into town and, you know, you're going to sell out every show in advance and everybody knows. Like, you make the lion's share of the money, and they make the bar. That's what happens. But at the Comedy Store, that wasn't the case. The Comedy Store is a great financial situation for them. They made a lot of money, and we were happy that they made a lot of money because it kept the place open, it kept this community going, and it had gotten so profitable that even though Mitzi had left this earth, she had left behind this system that had encouraged wild comedy. But most places don't do that. Most places, they want an opening act, a middle, and a headliner. They want the person to have TV credits so the people who come see them. And they want to sell a lot of tickets. Yeah. And they want to make a lot of money. And that's how most comedy clubs work. I don't want to work that way. I want a comedy club that's run by the comics.
Keep the freedom.
Keep the freedom.
Yeah.
You got to have, to create,
Yeah.
You need freedom.
Yeah.
You need to be able to talk about your grandmother's stinky pussy.
Goddamn right.
You need that. If someone comes along and says you can't do that, well, look, maybe you can't do that. But the only way to find out if you can't do that is to do it.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of shit. You think about some of the things that Diaz has done on stage, or Theo's done on stage, or you have done on stage, or all the wild people at the store have done on stage. The only way to find out if that's gonna work is let them try it.
Yeah. Yep.
That's it.
Yep. Yep. I don't know, man.
It's a great place to live.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm still feeling it. I don't care who got shot outside of my Airbnb today. I'm like.
Are you sure they got shot? Or maybe someone shot at them.
No, bro. So I was catching an Uber to go to the motherfucking gym, and the Uber guy called me and said, "Hey, man, did something just happen to you?" And I was at the like, "Nah, man, I'm in my Airbnb." He was like, "Oh well, I just saw somebody get shot outside of your Airbnb," and I was like, "Nah, that wasn't me." And then he was like, "Well, if you still want to catch this Uber, I'll be up the street at the Jack in the Box." And I said, "Nigga, I'm not about to walk down the street. Nigga, leave." Like, and then he was like, "All right." And I was like, "Fuck," and I just stayed in the house.
The Uber situation is so interesting because no one ever saw that coming. Here's the thing: like cabs have been around since the beginning of time.
Just to come up with an Uber. Yeah.
Cabs have been around from forever, from the beginning of time.
Yeah.
There's been cabs. You know, you call a cab, you hail a cab in New York City. Somebody figured out, like, wouldn't it be cool if you could just use your car and make money, just driving people around?
And it seems so simple.
So simple.
You're like, how come I didn't think? Because we get people rides anyway everywhere.
But California had to step in and fuck it up. They're like, these people need health insurance and they need dental. And
They just did that.
No, it's a gig.
Yeah.
It's an easy way to make money on the side.
Yeah.
And you could do it as long as you want and make as much money as you want. Like, stop fucking it up with insurance.
Yeah.
Stop fucking it up. This is not a career. This is not. You're not talking about a dental surgeon. You're talking about a guy who drives you places. Just don't be a criminal.
Because a lot of the times those Uber drivers do other shit.
Yes, most of the time. Most of the time.
Yeah. Like, I really work at Walmart.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they should be making more money. Maybe there's an argument there. Maybe they should be making more of a percentage.
You don't think it should be commission? I mean, like what? Like, you don't think it should be commission? Like, where you driving to? Like,
yeah.
You know, I think it should just be like that. You think they should get like something on top of that, like something?
No, I'm saying, like, I don't know what percentage they make. Like, if it costs $20 to go somewhere, how much does the driver make?
Oh, right.
I don't know how much the driver makes.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what they. Let's find this out. What does an Uber driver average per hour? Let's find that out. Like, what's an average if you totaled up all the Uber drivers in the country, all the different places they go? What's the average that they make per hour?
Depends where you are.
I'm gonna say $25.
Depends where you are and depends when they drive. According to this, I'm looking at now. It's the cities. So some under $20 an hour, average of 15 to 17. It looks like.
Oh, under $20 an hour. I would have thought it'd been more.
Average of 8 to, I don't know. Yeah, it's a wild change.
For Uber, I'm surprised. I don't want to give anybody any ideas, but I'm like, has there ever been a thing like where something bad has gone like happen in the Uber? Like you get in there with a crazy motherfucker.
Girls.
And
If I was a girl, I would be very scared to be in an Uber.
That's the trip part about Uber.
I wouldn't be scared to be in an Uber. But if I was a girl, I'd be scared to be in an Uber.
Yeah, I'm like, does shit like that happen? Like, is the Uber driver ever crazy?
Fuck yes. Girls have been raped in Ubers 100%, man.
Damn.
Let's find that out. How many times have let's just not say Uber, just say ride shares, Lyft, Uber. How many times have women been sexually assaulted by their ride share drivers?
Or even the guy who's in the Uber pool next to you, like, damn.
I read a story about this woman. She got an Uber, and the Uber driver was taking her in a weird path, and then parked under a bridge. And she was like, "What in the fuck is happening?" She called 911, jumped out of the car, but the dude took off. But he parked under a fucking bridge. Like, what are you doing?
That's fine. Yeah.
Like, you don't know who they are. You don't know anything about them. You just hopping in the car.
Yeah, and that's thing about Uber. Because did that ever happen with taxi drivers?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sure. According to this thing I'm looking at, according to Uber's data, 42% of those reporting sexual assault were the drivers.
Oh yeah. Well,
A lot of chicks want some dick. Is that what's up? Or is it girl drivers?
It could be that too.
I've had friends who drove Uber who be like, yo, man, you know what I'm saying? This chick, let me come in the house. I was like, oh, nigga, I need to drive Uber. Fuck comedy.
Well, if girls are drunk and it's closing time,
yeah,
and they're getting a ride home and they start vibing with the driver. Next thing you know,
I got friends who got stories. Like,
I'm sure. But that's okay. That's just two people having fun.
Yeah,
I'm worried about what happens to the passengers. So, what is the statistics?
The article I'm looking at came out in December of 2019, so it doesn't have the 2020 data. 'Cause it's probably different. Said over 3,000 cases were reported for Uber. There were 19 women at the time that had sued Lyft. 30% says, but drivers, especially roughly 19% of Uber drivers and 30% of Lyft drivers who are women, are often reported being groped by passengers.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that's a different animal. That's female drivers. Yeah, that makes sense. It's all dudes. We're the problem, Jamar.
Yeah.
It's all men.
Just over 3,000 reports for 9 murders and 50 people killed.
Murders?
That sucks, man.
9 murders by Lyft drivers and Uber drivers?
During the rides. I don't know if it says who did what.
Or passengers, I'm sure.
I don't like Lyft because the cars are shittier. I don't like the idea of a 96 Tercel coming to pick me up. Like
when I lived in New York City, one of the things that was happening was people were killing gypsy cab drivers. There was a rash of gypsy cab driver murders when I lived in New York City. So I lived in New Rochelle. It wasn't New York City. It was just outside the city. But when I was working in New York City, which is like, I guess I moved there in 91-ish. Yeah, somewhere around there, 91, 92. And there was a rash of cab driver murders where people would pick up cabs and say, hey, take me to Queens, and then shoot the cab driver and take all the money, because a lot of these, there was gypsy cab drivers, and gypsy cab drivers essentially like they didn't have a license, and so there were a lot of it was immigrant dudes,
illegal,
and they'd have cash. They'd get only cash. They didn't have credit card machines. So if you got a guy at 2:00 in the morning and that guy had been on his shift since 6 p.m., you knew that dude had a lot of money on him. And so they were murdering gypsy cab drivers at a crazy rate. Like, Google that.
That sucks.
You already did that? Oh, okay. One of the most dangerous jobs in New York, gypsy cab driver. What year is this from?
I couldn't find that, but it says since 1990, 180 drivers. It's 2 a month. I was trying to do the math on that.
2 a month. Yeah. Yeah, I remember one year, I want to say 1 year, it was a high year. It was like 48 dudes had been killed. It was crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, it's horrible, man. But I remember, like, cabs were, like, really scared to pick people up. They'd look at you up and down. Like,
is that why? When was this? Like in the 90s?
This must have been in the 90s, yeah. For some kind of 2 a month, that's 90 months.
Yeah, well, when I was living there, it was the 90s. So that's when I remember.
8 years or so.
Is that why they really don't, like, pick up, like, certain people, like, like black men can't get a cab, like type?
I think it's probably more racism than that. But it's also like, if you are around friends that have been robbed and you're scared and you hear about these people being murdered, like when you think about a cab driver, like you never know. You're opening your door and they're behind you. You have no idea who they are, there's no metal detector. They could have a gun, they could have a knife.
Or it can be Ben Bailey.
Yeah.
You can win $1,000.
Yeah. Or it could be Patrick Bateman.
Yeah.
Someone could fucking kill you for no reason, just for a fun.
Yeah.
For a fun time. Yeah.
Dude.
It's a hard job, man, because you're just taking a chance. I used to drive limos. And when I drove limos, it was like sometimes you would drive people and they'd be really cool. And sometimes you drive people and you get really creeped out, man. Just really creeped out.
Some creepy shit happened to you?
No, nothing happened to me, but people would yell at you and you're like, Jesus, man, I'm a human being. You don't even know me.
Yeah.
And you're yelling at me.
Yeah.
I remember one time some old dude yelled at me and I yelled back at him. And it was him and some young dude in the car, and They panicked. I'm like, listen, man, I'll quit this fucking job.
Yo.
Like, shut the fuck up. Don't yell at me.
Isn't there a thing where maybe I heard it in a rap song, but like people are putting like drugs in like the backseat of like an Uber and taking it to like a location, like sending it to a certain location.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's
definitely.
creative.
Yeah, that's definitely happened. 100%. Yeah, especially if you tell the Uber driver, hey, here's an extra whatever for you. Just drive this, man. It's real easy. You don't have to do shit.
Dude, I'm gonna tip you.
Yeah, but especially give him cash.
Yeah.
The Uber driver doesn't have any idea what's in the bag.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
It's like they have Uber Eats.
Do you like that Uber Eats?
No, I don't fuck with that.
I don't like that shit either.
I don't trust anybody to not eat my food. Yeah. Pick at your fries and shit.
Yeah.
Spit in your burger.
And the idea of this motherfucker getting out of the car in regular clothes, like But if it's good, listen. If it's from a reputable company and they seal the bag and everything, it's like Postmates and shit like that. It's a great deal. Like you don't want to live, especially during the pandemic. You don't want to leave your house. But I just know people that have, I know people that have gotten food that someone's eaten. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of waiting for somebody to drop off my food. I'm like, I gotta go get it.
Yeah.
I'm a hunter. I gotta go
but
get
if you're lazy and you just want them just DoorDash it over to you.
Yeah, like
it's weird. It's like, listen, if you get a restaurant to deliver your food straight from the restaurant, the benefit is the restaurant doesn't lose all that money. And one of the things that John Terzian and Craig was saying when they were on the podcast was like, they have a margin of profit. Their profit margin is like 18%. So that means that they need to make more than that in order to have any profit, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the amount of expenses it costs to make the food, and hire the staff, and pay for the space that they work in. Well, when you do Uber Eats, you lose money. So when these restaurants are selling food through Uber Eats and through DoorDash, they're losing money because it costs more for them to make the food and then have it delivered. But they're just trying to keep their customer base. They're just trying to stay afloat and make like maybe they're losing a little bit of money, but at least they're keeping everybody employed and they got their business rolling. And so that's how Craig handles it. And their idea is that, listen, we just want everybody to be happy. This is what we do. We make food for people. We want to make food for people. But if you could have the food delivered by the restaurant itself, if you can call the restaurant, if they have delivery, it's way better for the restaurant. It's way better for the consumer because you're building a relationship with the people that run the restaurant. And a lot of times it's actually the servers. Like at Craig's, the servers themselves have been delivering food for people because they have very valuable customers. Maybe they've been coming to that restaurant for years, and then they'll deliver you order some chicken parmesan, they'll deliver it.
Yeah.
Like Mario, hey.
Yeah.
What
do you think about these bird scooter? What do you think about the bird scooter game?
I think it's a good way to die when you're drunk. I'm watching these people in Austin. They're driving around these rickety scooters. There's two people on a scooter, and they're hammered. And I'm like, you guys are going to break your fucking shins. Jamie's nodding.
The thing I don't like about them is that people treat them so bad. They leave them anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
they're rickety.
Yeah, I think I don't know.
We have a sponsor. What is the sponsor? Unagi. Unagi Scooters is one of our sponsors, and they gave me one of them. It is the shit.
Yeah.
That thing is
They're fun as fuck.
Badass. It flies. And my daughter had one. Well, they sent it to me when I let my daughter use it, and she's flying down my driveway with it. I'm like, that thing is fucking fast.
It's like a bird scooter?
It's just a really high-end scooter. It's like a really high-end electrical scooter.
Yeah.
You give it like a little bit of a push, like it's just sitting there. But if you just give it a little bit of a push, it takes off, man. You can control the speed and everything like that, and it's got brakes. But so my daughter used that, and then she went and rented one of the scooters that they had in downtown Austin, and this is this janky, rickety,
fucking lime scooter,
fucking thing that had been beaten up, and they had been jumping over cones with it, and it's like, oh my god, this thing is like barely hanging on. No one's running around there and torquing down all the bolts and making sure that everything's in alignment.
No. And they treat those damn lime scooters so disrespectful, dude. Like, I've seen them in bushes and shit. Like, who did that?
Drunks.
Like,
it's a drunk way of they're too lazy to walk. And like, I want to get there quicker. So
Yeah.
Just get on that scooter.
I want one.
Well, they're trying to do that with a lot of things now, where you just use your phone and then you can pick up a car. Like they're doing that with cars, where they have cars laying around.
You also cars?
Yeah, cars. Yeah, I don't know what the company's doing it, but there's apps where they leave cars laying around for you, and you could use your app, and your app will unlock the car, and you could just drive the car.
That sounds too much like bait car. Yeah, I'm like, I take this shit. Somebody gonna.
Well, not only that, like, who's doing that, and are you testing them? Like, maybe they should have like one of them. I had a buddy of mine who got arrested for DUI, and he had like a little tube that he had to blow into before he could start his car. So it took like he couldn't ever run away from you.
Yeah.
Because it would take like 5 minutes for him to start his car.
Yeah.
So he would get in his car, he'd have to blow on the tube, it would register, it would take a little bit of time, and then it would give him a green light, and then he could drive off.
Yeah.
That's what you need if you're gonna have an app where people could just pick up a car.
What I don't like about them scooters either that you actually need a driver's. They make you have a valid driver's license to work those motherfuckers.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, or at least I tried to start one up in LA and my driver's license was suspended at the time. and then so I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I don't know.
That might be a California thing.
Yeah.
The regulations here are very different.
Oh, okay.
Like, for instance, if you moved here, I could just give you a gun.
Really?
Yep.
I go to Austin.
Jamar, have a gun.
I know.
and you would have a fresh, brand new gun. You wouldn't have to do any paperwork, nothing.
Really? You could just give me a Glock?
Dude, I've been here. 8 people have given me guns.
What?
8.
Damn.
People. Yeah, 8 guns.
I don't know if I can handle a gun.
You don't think so?
No, I mean, like...
Have you shot a gun before?
Nah, but when I was 7, this nigga named Peanut let me hold his gun in the hood.
Peanut.
And I was a 7. I was like, this is so heavy.
Heavy, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Peanut.
Well, when we're out here, I'll take you to the range.
All right.
There's a place called the range, indoor gun range. It's great.
All right.
Yeah.
How am I gonna feel after I shoot this gun, Joe?
You'll be fine.
All right.
You wear headphones so you block out the sound. You wear glasses.
All right.
Yeah.
Damn.
You just need how to do it. Learn how to do it correctly.
Yeah.
Bang, bang. It's fun.
Oh. I want to hold it like this.
No, don't do that. It's very bad for your accuracy.
It's the Compton way.
Really want to hold it one hand either.
No.
It's not that. It's hard to control it.
Why do people hold the gun this way?
Looks cool.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Looks cool to go sideways.
Fucking menace to society shit.
Yeah,
dude.
like you don't give a fuck. I'm so crazy. How come no one's doing it upside down?
Oh, right.
Anybody doing it next level shit? Or anybody doing it that way?
Yeah.
That's when you really don't give a fuck about a bunny. You don't care about somebody, you go handle up.
Isn't there a thing about somebody like shooting a gun like this, like kind of sort of like kind of like trying to like curb the bullet or some shit like that?
Oh well,
or
that
like,
doesn't work. Like a tennis ball.
Angelina Jolie movie.
Yeah, oh, that's what I saw it in. That's what I saw it in Wanted. I saw it in Wanted. I was like, does that really work?
Is that her and Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
Is that when they met?
It's
Was
just
that
him. It's just her.
just her?
Yeah.
What was the movie, Mr. and Mrs. Jones or something like
Mr.
that?
and
When they
Mrs.
met
Smith?
Mrs. Smith.
the one.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah.
That makes me sad. That
Are they
led
still
to
together? No.
No, that led to the adoption of a lot of children and.
Bro, she took in so many kids.
Well, listen.
That's what's
it's
up.
great. It's great that she does that.
Yeah, I respect
That's
that.
not what's sad. What's sad is that her and Brad didn't make it.
How long was they together?
Long time, like 10 years.
Can I ask you this? Like, do they? Okay, since those kids are adopted, does she keep them kids? Does he still go see them kids? Like, bitch,
do
you
not
brought
know.
them kids over here.
I do not know.
Oh.
I don't know the specifics, but I do know there's a rule. There's like rules of like physics. There's rules of science. There's a rule. Crazy pussy is the best pussy.
It is.
It's the best pussy.
It is.
She's clearly crazy.
It is.
It's got to be off the charts. She's so pretty.
Yeah, I mean,
She's so talented.
she got fat lips. She's like spit on me cute.
They're ridiculous lips.
Yeah.
Like all those crazy girls that stuff shit into their lips, they could only wish they had lips like her. Let me see those lips, Jamie.
Pull up them lips.
Angelina, pull up them lips. Pull up them Angelina Jolie lips. They're outrageous. Those are
I was talking about this shit. I was like,
they're so pretty.
yeah. I was talking about this shit to the homie the other day. I was like, damn, boy.
Let me get a younger Angelina Jolie.
Find a good one before I pull it back.
Is that a real one? She real Bell's palsy. She's got Bell's palsy.
I don't know. There's that fake.
That's
one
the problem with Crazy too. That's the problem with Crazy. Is Crazy comes with all sorts of neurotic shit.
She bad though.
Oh, she's so pretty. And her dad is one of the greatest actors ever. Jon Voight. Jon Voight's out of his fucking
Oh, that's her
mind,
dad?
too. Yeah, that's her dad. Yeah, they would talk on the phone. This is allegedly. I read this in a story. They would talk on the phone in character. Like, say if she was playing a British soldier and he was playing a guy from Ireland, they would talk on the phone in character.
Really?
They'd pretend they were these people. Like
That's dope. So that means like he was like kind of like conditioning or like molding her kind of sort of.
Well, I think they were both adults at the time, both playing make believe over the phone.
Yo.
It's very strange. But
Did she used to like make out with her brother and shit on the red carpet or some shit like that?
She kissed her brother on the lips on the red carpet.
Damn, she nasty.
Yeah. I mean, if it's like a little peck that you give your mom, like, I kiss my mom on the lips.
I never kiss my sister on the lips. Oh, fuck. And I love my sister.
I love my sister too. I don't believe I kiss her on the lips either.
Fuck that.
I mean, I have for sure. You know, tell her I love her. But I think that was a little different. I think the Angelina Jolie one, they held it a little long.
Yeah,
I think it was one of those.
It was just long enough to be sexy.
Yeah, long enough for everybody got super uncomfortable. Like,
yeah.
Hey.
Yep.
But her dad, Jon Voight, is like a full-on Trump supporter.
Really?
Oh yeah, he's one of the weirdest Republican Hollywood types. Like when you hear him talk about like conservative values and how, like you're like, oh, this is something else going on here. This is not as simple as this guy is a conservative. Like this, like there's some crazy that's coming out through this this ideology that he's got.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard him talk, Jon
No.
Voight? Have you ever seen Midnight Cowboy? There he is. Let me hear some of this.
This is her
Let me
dad?
hear some of this. Let me hear some of this.
We all sit with hope. We sit with a prayer. My fellow patriots of the USA, how can I begin? We've spoken about many times deceit, lies, corruption, and karmic law. You all may well ask, why hasn't God done what was asked of him? And I'll tell you why. He has a plan greater than anyone who asks. My fellow Americans, this is the beginning of many disappointments that this administration will bring to this nation. Yes, we all know. But now what? That's what we all ask. Now what? We see the lie already. Our soldiers being mistreated, these men sacrificing with blood, sweat, and tears to protect. And what do they get? No need to say, we all know. We know. I will not sit here and talk about the left because I have. And we know very well that the left are against the greatness that was and that has left. We all know Trump's love for our country and its people. He wanted greatness. And now we are losing a great accomplishment. We all want to know now, what now? What?
Okay.
Now, more
I
than
get it. I get it. He's gone, right? There's something going on there. Like this, even the way he's talking, it's like.
I gotta pee.
Go ahead.
I didn't know. I was like, I gotta pee.
Perfect timing. See you in a minute. I mean, you watch that video. Like, what does that even mean? The soldiers being mistreated like instantaneously? Like Joe Biden takes office, Kamala Harris is vice president, and immediately, what are they doing? They're peeing on soldiers? Like, what is happening? What is this? What is he saying? Like, we all know. Like, it's just. I wonder what happens when you get that old. I really do. Because I know I'm definitely dumber than I was like 20 years ago. I think. Sometimes I'm not. Like, I have 2 alpha brains in a bottle of water, and I feel like I got it back again. But for sure, my memory is like at least a small percentage has deteriorated. And I wonder how much of that memory deteriorating is because of just the sheer amount of information that I have in my head. I don't think people are supposed to be talking to people 4 or 5 days a week, 3 hours at a time about science and psychology and history and all the different things that I'm doing. I feel like my brain is overwhelmed. I don't know if my brain is capable of all that. So I wonder. I was just talking about like what happens. Jamar's back. Pee quick. You pee quick, bro.
Had to.
Force it out. I wonder, like I was saying, like I wonder what happens to old dudes that they get that old, and then my memory is like definitely like slightly less good than it was, unless I take like a couple of alpha brains.
That shit really work?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I keep them right here, man. This is this is empty, but I take 2 of them in a bottle of water before. Anytime I talk to a scientist or any kind of intellectual, I'll take 2 of those. These are the alpha brain instants.
What is it doing exactly?
Well, what it does, what it's been clinically shown, this is blackberry lemonade. What it's been shown to do, they had 2 double-blind, placebo-controlled studies from the Boston Center for Memory, and it showed that it increased your verbal memory, meaning your ability to pull up words, your ability to form sentences. It increased your I think it was your reaction time, and then the other one was alpha flow state. You could, if you go to onit.com, you can read all that shit. But what it does for me is, for sure, it feels like it makes my brain fire smoother, and I don't struggle as much to form sentences. I don't struggle as much to pull up words.
How long does it last?
A few hours.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave with some
it's
of
just,
that.
Yeah, I got something. For you. The machine, the vending machine, it's all free. Just press buttons. And you get whatever you want. Get your Alpha Brain. There's those Warrior bars.
I saw you were also on the you posted about the lion's mane.
Yes.
So
yes.
I saw you post about that, and I was like, man, let me go get that shit. And then and then I got it, and I was like, all right, Joe. I even tagged you. I was like, all right, Joe. I said, we're gonna see what the fuck you talking about. And I've taken it. I don't know if it works, but I'm like, if y'all say it's healthy, you know what I'm saying? Like, I take pills and shit like that, like do my vitamins. So if y'all say it's healthy, I'm out here.
It's one of those things where some people say like, oh, vitamins don't do anything for you, but those people are never athletes. Mm-hmm. The people that are athletes, they all take vitamins because you really do feel it over a long period of time. You need something, and I take something called Athletic Greens, which is a real, it's a simple powder, a super greens powder that I mix in a bottle of water, and it's filled with vitamins and nutrients. And I also take quercetin and vitamin C and vitamin D. What is that? What is
Shilajit? I read about it online. I think like Bruce Lee used to take it or something like that, and it, I don't know, but I read that Bruce Lee used to take it, and it like it basically does this.
How do you spell it?
Oh, it's Shilajit. SHILIGJIT or something like that.
Really?
Right? Shilajit. That shit is I mean, it's great. It's I never ever know what these pills are doing, but I do feel sharper when I take them.
Really?
I'd rather take pills. I'd rather take like healthy healthy pills and shit like that, and not know like the effects, but just know that it's. You get what I'm trying to say? Like
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's not instantaneous results with vitamins, but if you are consistent and you take them over long periods of time, you will have better health. Mm-hmm. It's just how it is.
Yeah. So that's why I take them. You know, like it's not drugs. You know, it's not like. Yeah. No,
listen. Vitamins are this. Your body has a whole system, right? Your biological system requires a bunch of different nutrients for it to function at its optimal level. Mm-hmm. And most people are not getting all of those nutrients from food. Not. It'd be so hard to get it from food. You should eat healthy. You should get most of it from food, but you should also get as much as you can from supplements to optimize all your levels. So fish oil is a must for me. Vitamin D, D3 is a must for me. Zinc, magnesium, all these different minerals and nutrients. And
here's what I'm still trying to figure out about vitamins. It's like, okay, like I got a medicine cabinet full of of good shit or whatever. But how do I take like 2 at a time, or do I take them all together? Like.
We definitely have to take them with food. Almost everything, vitamin-wise, needs to be absorbed with fat. So most vitamins, most of them.
Do you take all your vitamins together, or do you do them like 2 at a time?
I take vitamins twice a day, and I take them with my meals. And I usually only eat twice a day.
Okay.
So I eat after. I usually have a morning workout, and then I eat like around 11 o'clock. And then around then is when I have my vitamins with my food, and then I have it at night again.
Oh, okay.
A different, pack of vitamins that I take at night.
How long do you work out? How long are your sessions?
Depends on what I'm doing. If I'm doing hard cardio, it's never more than an hour.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm doing like weightlifting, I like to do it long, and I like to give myself a lot of time in between sets.
Mm-hmm.
There's a. Do you know who Pavel Tatsulin is?
Mm-mm.
He's a Russian kettlebell instructor. He brought kettlebells over here to America.
Okay.
They call him like the godfather of Russian kettlebells. But he has this principle that the idea behind they call it greasing the groove, and the idea behind it is one of the best ways to develop strength is not to work to failure with each set. Like say. Let's look at it this way. Say if you want to do a clean and a press, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you do this with, say, 70 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do it with 70 pounds and you can do 15. Instead of doing 15 presses, that's like your max when you get to 15. You're like this.
Yeah.
Instead of doing that, do it with 8. Just do it like half.
Okay.
Somewhere around half. And that way you do it easy. So it's easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then let it sit and then take a long time in between sets.
Okay.
And then do another one, and do another one, do another one, do another one. But give yourself like 10 minutes in between sets. And the idea is that you let your muscles fully recover, and then you do more work that way. So because your muscles fully recover, if you just did, say if you only gave yourself, like a lot of people they want to go real hard. Like you want to work hard. Like a lot of people, I want to push myself, which is great if you want to do endurance. But even then, you got to do it intelligently. But when you're lifting weights, you will do less work if you push too hard. Now, granted, some people don't have the time to work out this way. Like, you need a good, solid block of time if you want to do it this way. But what his proposal is, the most important thing is the amount of repetitions that you do with a weight. It's not how many do in a row. So if you can only do, say, 10 repetitions, don't do 10. Do 5. And then back off when you're fine. Like you could keep going, but you stop at 5. Let it sit a long time for 10 minutes, whatever, and then do another 5. Let it sit, do another 10 minutes, do another 5. And this way, you're going to get a lot of repetitions in. So you might get 20, 30 repetitions in. Whereas if you just wanted to go straight in a row, you would do 10, and then you would do 8, and then you would do 5, and then you would be burnt out. Your arms would be killing you. This way, you're doing it slow over a long period of time, but you're actually getting in more repetitions. And you're not getting as sore in between sets. You're not getting as beat up. And then your body is able to recover from this more easily. And by doing it that way, and he even would recommend maybe do a couple sets in the morning and then a couple sets in the evening. The idea is that, like, like farmer strength, like farmers are always like chucking hay barrels and shit.
Yeah.
Well, farmers don't work to exhaustion. They don't ever work to failure. They don't ever pick up so many bales of hay they can't pick up another bale of hay.
Yeah.
They work all throughout the day. They develop this ridiculous strength because of that.
Yeah, see, I don't like bench press. Like I don't lift like I do like a lot of free weights, like a lot of like dumbbells and shit like that, but not like them motherfuckers be like 5. Them motherfuckers be like 5 pounds and shit. But I'd be like, I like do this shit like like maybe for like 3 minutes or some shit like that. And I do little shit like that, but I don't go big because I don't want to be big. I like being like slim and lean, but like
Move fast.
Yeah. And I do fucking weird. I do a lot of core workout too. But I work with it's like a bar or whatever. You like hang on a bar to like stretch your muscles and shit like that. I do a lot of that, and then I like turn like my legs and shit like that. Like
okay.
I do like a lot
those
of
bar stars type shit.
Yeah. I saw
those guys are the most jacked.
Yeah.
Except their legs. They always have these little skinny ass legs because they're not really lifting weights.
Bro, I just started working on my legs.
Like not just started. Bar stars guys, they'll have ridiculous shoulders and traps and arms and buys and then toothpicks and sweatpants.
Legs are like a compass and
those
shit.
Dudes are always wearing sweatpants.
Yeah.
And it makes it easier to stick your legs straight up in the air while you're doing chin-ups because your legs don't wear anything.
Yeah, see, I do the weight vest.
Oh, look at you. Look at you.
Right. I do with the Timbs on in the weights.
You wear Timbs in the weight room. I like it.
And those are ankle weights too.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's a great way to work out.
Yeah,
That's phenomenal.
So it makes your footwork like it helps with footwork and shit.
Fuck
too.
yeah. Do you have a trainer? Do you work with anybody?
Nah, I go in there and just make shit up. Like
you should talk to somebody who or you don't even have to talk to somebody, but just do some research. Just do some YouTube videos and shit like that. You almost you don't need a trainer, but it's a great tool. But you can get a lot of information just for free off of YouTube.
Yeah,
all kinds of different workouts, but you just want to make sure you don't hurt yourself. Like you don't put...
see this? Now you just said something interesting, right? You see this one?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So